Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you. So they added Godzilla and Dave the Diver, and they have the character Miki in it, and she's in the Heisei Godzilla era. The first one she appeared in is Godzilla versus Biolante,
Really?
just to have a reason to talk about Biolante. Yeah,
What the fuck is that all about?
she's a recurring character in the Heisei series. She communicates with Godzilla because she's a psychic.
Oh, so she's the Iwi girl of Godzilla?
Literally says current occupation military psychic. It's awesome, dude.
I want
That's
that
like
job.
Gundam.
It is. They're all military psychics. Does what is the purpose of Godzilla? Like, we didn't talk about this, but like the Godzilla eras, with there being like Shin and Hoto, and then whatever the fuck you just said, or
Heisei.
Toho. What is
So
the
so no,
difference?
Toho makes Godzilla. Toho is the owner of Godzilla.
Right.
It was always
Okay.
made under Toho. There's like the Showa era,
Showa.
Heisei. Yeah, I don't really know. Really, I think Showa is the sillier one that we know. Heisei is still a bit more serious, but it's still like monster fights. I that's how I've interpreted it. I could be talking out my ass. I don't know.
So are they basically just like the same thing in terms of like, and then we have MonsterVerse Godzilla? Like, it's just a different reboot with a different kind of Godzilla.
Let's see. Um, I'm just trying like because there was Showa and then there's Heisei and then there's Millennium. I think Showa was the first. The Heisei era is a term used to identify the previous political era of Japan. It's named after the political Heisei era in Japan, which started in '89.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's really it's the era of
So
Japan.
so
when
technically
Godzilla shows up?
Heisei and Millennium eras. Technically Millennium is a part of Heisei as well, but and so is MonsterVerse Godzilla, but they're still kind of considered their own thing. Because Heisei era went from '89 to 2019. So
Okay.
yeah, it's basically just like the political era of Japan.
And how Godzilla affects said world.
No, I think it's just the political era of Japan.
But you're saying there's different Godzillas,
Well, yeah,
and they mark
it could be a
time
different
by
Godzilla, but still be a part of Heisei. Heisei isn't like it's just an era of them being made. It isn't like designating one Godzilla. Like
Okay.
Godzilla 2000 would be Heisei.
Okay.
Even though, that wasn't actually Godzilla, by the way. They just got it wrong. Actual
Right.
Godzilla was still out there when they made like Final Wars or something. I don't know. Suzume.
Well, that got so Suzume.
Yeah.
A tremendous force that dwells deep beneath the Japanese islands. It has no rhyme or reason, but will rage and shake if the land is disturbed.
You just beat it, though, didn't you?
Well, I shut it away for now. If not sealed with the keystone, it's bound to reappear in time.
You mean there's gonna be another earthquake?
It's my job to prevent that. It's what I'm here for.
It's your job.
VGU Gaiden presents After Disaster, the Shinkai Trilogy. Episode 3, Suzume. Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of After Disaster, the Shinkai Trilogy. Our final episode in said trilogy. I am Graydon Webb, broadcasting
Live from the car. Sorry about the sound, but I had a plan and it fell through. So here I be, joined as always by my friend and co-conspirator, DJ Risio.
I like to think of you as my sub-conspirator. I like to think I'm the main conspirator here.
Oh, you get to be daddy?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I got like a pin board with like string connecting them.
You're definitely the mastermind, but it's like, would I go with what you say? I don't know. I would be terrified.
Oh, you don't have a choice.
Most of your plans I'm terrified of. But yeah, I guess I'm here. I guess I gotta be I'm a sub.
I always tell people, I hope I'm not just fun and whimsical, but also mildly threatening.
Oh, absolutely. Which is funny because like
That's what my coworker said.
your presence isn't exactly intimidating. You're very tall and
It's a little
imposing.
concerning though. That's what I want it to be.
It is because you're
I don't
lanky.
necessarily want intimidating, but I do want mildly concerning. Like,
Right.
oh, he's gonna say some shit. He's gonna say something out of pocket. He's gonna do something fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And I always do.
Yeah. You're kind of like this. I was gonna say your image is kind of resembles that of the monster from Barbarian.
I have no idea what that is.
Did you not see that film?
No, that was recent though, right? Like past 4 or 5 years or something?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like I heard of it. I think my friend Peter saw it. No, I didn't.
Well, don't go looking it up because you'll hate that I made that.
I'm gonna look it up now. Barbarian monster. The mother. It's like Gollum's grandma. This is awesome.
So you take
Deranged and deformed human who is the result. Oh. Oh. In Detroit?
Listen, I don't think you're all of it. I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
What? Like you just kind of got it spoiled for you?
No, just looking at why she's deranged and deformed, results of decades of very bad things.
Oh yeah, it's a mess. That film.
Jesus Christ.
That film is a wild trip. A lot of fun though. A lot of fun. But I love you. So if that makes anything
Type of villain: tragic kidnapper.
Yeah.
Crimes, kidnapping, serial murder, mutilation, and cannibalism. That's awesome.
Jeez. Why do they give her like charges?
This is on the villains wiki.
Jeez.
They also have a trigger warning here. Due to the content, but the trigger warning they use has like the little like yellow triangle with an exclamation mark, and then it has fucking Scarface below it for some reason. Fucking stupid.
He's got a trigger finger.
Yeah, I guess so. He's my little friend. Anyway, Suzume.
Yeah. So Suzume, this is the latest film by Makoto Shinkai. It came out last year, I believe you said.
Yes, 2023, or it came out in the US.
Okay.
I think it came out like end of 2022 in Japan.
Okay, it seems like all of them were kind of like that. I believe Your Name was also.
Yeah, it usually takes like 6 months or so, something like that.
Yeah, but you saw it when it hit stateside.
Yeah, day one in theaters in America.
Day
I saw
one,
it.
we were there.
Day one, I was there for the beginning.
Damn.
If Makoto Shinkai has 1 million fans, I'm one of them.
Yeah, and honest to God, I'm now one of them too. I mean, I didn't. Obviously, I'd seen two of 3 of these movies, but I don't know. Just getting to watch them back to back and realize like how really well made all of his stuff is. And I'm gonna get it out of the way real quick. I watched a video essay today on Suzume, try to like sure I had all my thoughts together, and they kind of went over the fact that I guess people think he does a lot of the same films, like there's just a sameness to what he does.
Yeah,
but
I get that. I mean, Suzume has a little bit of Garden of Words in there, of like the kid and like the person who's way too old for them and whatnot. There's a little bit of that in there. I only know that basic part of Garden of Words. I haven't seen Garden of Words myself, but I do get that. But that's also why I think Suzume is really refreshing, because I think in general I think Suzume is very different.
Yeah, I would say
at least from Your Name and Weathering with You, it feels very different.
Yeah. It's got a different.
Well, I want to know, like, what are your overall thoughts on Suzume, since you haven't seen it at all before? I'm curious.
So, I definitely came away. So I'll say it. Your Name made me cry. Weathering did not. This one made me well up. I did come away from it thinking it was a very beautiful story. I think it had a really kind of weak third act, which I'll kind of get to when we get to that point. But I feel like, and he says as if there's any structure to these podcasts, but I think that it definitely is the weakest out of all of them.
That's how I felt as well. I'm
Yeah.
wondering how you'll feel after sitting on it for a while, because after I sat on for a while, I was like, damn, that was really fucking good, huh? Like I still think Your Name is the best, but I definitely started to appreciate Suzume a lot more after sitting on it for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, and weirdly, I was surprised when you said you'd only seen it once, because I know that you're the kind of person who will just throw on a movie and watch them multiple times, and I am not one of those people. So with this whole thing,
I mean, that isn't true. I generally don't do that except for that, that summer obsession with Rio. Otherwise, like, I've mainly seen Weathering with You because I watched it, like, when it came to theaters. Then I've watched it a few more times for, like, Kyle, and I've watched it to show other people, and that's why I've seen it so many times.
Oh, I thought that you, like, rewatch movies often.
No, I usually just put on Breaking Bad on loop. It's not even a joke.
Nothing wrong with that either.
I'm on, like, my 8th watch through of Breaking Bad. Are you kidding me?
Welcome to Breaking Bad cast.
Welcome to Breaking Bad. Today will be Breaking the Bad. What do you think about the soundtrack?
I thought it was great. I think that
it's really good. It doesn't. My favorite songs of the three are on, like, Weathering with You, but I think this has overall the best soundtrack, because with the other soundtracks, it's like I'll pick like 2 or 3 I really like, but I think the Suzume soundtrack is, like, consistently great, even if like it doesn't get as high as the other soundtracks. I think it's way more consistent.
Yeah, and it is kind of how I had worded it in the last one, that with Your Name, you feel like the music like introduces segments. Weathering with You, it really supplements segments. And with this one, it's kind of always there in a way, but it's done in such a way that, like, when it really needs to come in, it's there for you. Like, it has some moments like Weathering where, and oddly enough, I actually found online that it uses some songs from Your Name and Weathering with You.
Yes, it also uses one from Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, wow.
I think all these films have Studio Ghibli references, but they're a bit more obvious in this one. When they first get in, what's his name, the guy who wants to be a teacher, his car, and G tells him to turn off the music because Suzume's sleeping. It's a song from Kiki's Delivery Service.
Funny.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that, have you ever seen Howl's Moving Castle?
No,
This movie is just Howl's Moving Castle.
Really?
Yeah, the, like, doors to other worlds and even the ending it's just Howl's Moving Castle.
Now, is that a bad thing?
No, it's great. I fucking love Howl's Moving Castle, and I fucking love Suzume.
So it's done in a way that's more homage than ripoff?
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely takes a lot of inspiration from, like, that one, like, in particular, especially the ending, but I love both of them. I think they're both fantastic.
Okay. My dad likes that.
It's also worth noting that when there's some other things, some other smaller ones, like I think when someone on social media has, like, there's, like, a picture of the cat Daijin on a train. That's a reference to, hold on, I had to look this up. Oh yeah, to where the hell is it? Whisper of the Heart, which is
that a Ghibli film?
Hold on. Yeah, okay, yeah, that is another Ghibli. I had pulled it up. I was looking for, like, the references, and that one pulled up here. I'm on the Polygon page for, like, the different references, and yeah, Whisper of the Heart, which is another Studio Ghibli film, which I have not seen, but I figured I would mention it.
Well, I don't mind shit like that. Like, this movie, and I was looking it up too. It seems there's really nothing aside from those songs that connects this movie to the previous two.
Yeah, that and like when she opens up a map and you see, like, Tokyo's just gone.
Yeah.
Like that as well. Otherwise, this one is very much more standalone. You don't even see, like, past characters running around.
And weirdly, her village looked like it was on the edge of that lake, the Itamori Lake, but it wasn't. Like,
no, yeah,
it just looked like it. But
yeah,
still very reminiscent in just like the way that the art style makes the villages. Like it feels like that vibe. But yeah, I don't mind that because they're not connected. If you want to fill this with inspirations and homages to other things, that's fine.
yeah. I also wanted to ask. So I assume you watched the dub?
Yes,
Okay, yeah. I watched the sub. I will say I'm a big fan of Tomoya, the teacher guy, of his dub voice actor because he voices Kenji in Persona 3, who is fucking awesome.
Which teacher guy? The Sarazawa?
Tomoya Sarazawa, with the dude with the red convertible and the glasses, wants to be a teacher. Yeah, he voices Kenji in Persona 3, whose entire social link just revolves around, dude, I've gotta fuck my teacher. And you just say, that's great, man, and you level him up. It's awesome. I love Kenji. He's so fucking real. It's also worth noting that this guy, Joe Ziaja, I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. He also he voices Volron, the villain in Tales of Arise, and Tales of Arise is fucking awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, just some neat voice actor work. I went to look up the voice actors, and almost all of the Japanese ones, this is pretty much first time work.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy. And if you go to them, they all have pretty much 2 credited roles. They have their character in Suzume, and then the McDonald's Suzume ad.
I gotta watch that. That was mentioned in the video essay too, and I was like, I gotta see that because
I haven't actually watched it, but I know it's floating around. Yeah, the voice actors all do great.
Yeah, I would happily watch that sub now that I've seen it. I just figured I would finish the thing because I did them all.
Yeah, I kind of figured you would do that as well, so I would continue with the subs.
Yeah, I don't remember if Netflix defaulted to English.
I think it usually does.
I think it did, and I honestly think it did with subtitles too, which were super janky and off.
I will say though, for me, I watched on Netflix as well, and it defaulted to Japanese, but I think that's just because I had already changed whatever last anime movie I watched on Japanese. So it probably just recognized the setting I used for a Japanese film or something. Because I sure as hell wasn't watching Breaking Bad in Japanese. That was the last thing I watched on Netflix besides this. I did want to circle back to what you said, like, you didn't cry in Weathering You welled up in this. I don't cry. I cry in Weathering With You and Your Name because I'm a big baby. I don't cry in this. I do well up, though, and it's always in the flashbacks and, like, that cold open in this, which I love, of her, like, looking for her mother in the ruined village. And then I well up again at the end when she finds her younger self, and you realize that, oh my god, it was her the whole time.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I'll say I immediately called both of the twists in this movie when I first saw it. The moment I saw that, I leaned over to my buddy Con like, that's not her mother, that's her. I fucking called that. I was like, nah, there's no way. They're not showing her face, that's her. And then the second part, remember I told you there's a twist that's really, really fucking obvious?
Yeah,
the truck. It's the fucking truck. I told you would know it immediately. It's the fucking truck.
No,
it's so fucking obvious.
Hold on. So, I was looking for this goddamn truck the whole time, and I never understood what you meant by that. Which truck?
Okay, so they have the white cat Gaijin, right? They're in the car. They're on a bridge. Behind them is a truck with a white cat and a black cat. 2 minutes later, the black cat shows up.
Oh.
It's like so obvious. Like they hold on that truck for a full like 5 seconds. It's really hard to miss. like the moment I saw that, I leaned over and go, "There's a second cat."
So you just thought there was going to be a second cat showing up?
And yeah, then a second cat showed up.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I do think that Daijin is the absolute highlight of this movie. I love Daijin.
I don't know how I feel about him. I don't
love him. I don't really know. I haven't heard the dub for this, so I wonder how his dub voice sounds. But oh my god, he's adorable in this sub.
Well, he sounds like a little kid, like a little.
It is a little kid,
and he's like his little is like so fucking. That is super cute.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a little playful kid. and then like then a Daisajin is supposed to be like its parent or older sibling.
Well, you got to listen to at least the end of the dub, where he's like, "People are gonna die."
Dude, some of the things the cat says though are bone chilling.
People will die. A whole lot of them.
Yeah, it's
There's
creepy.
some things. The one part, which by the way, I mentioned this, that the storm and Weathering with You reminded me of this scene in Suzume, and that was this worm over Tokyo.
Yes.
And the cat just goes, "History will repeat itself."
Lots of people are gonna die soon. History will repeat.
As he's
And I'm
rolling
like,
around.
oh my fucking god! Like that line sends chills up my spine every time, because like, he's talking about like the earthquakes of like Fukushima and whatnot throughout history, like these major earthquakes, and it's like, oh my god, that was like bone chilling.
Yeah, that's why I guess, like, because he's like an antagonist, but it's just because he, like, that's what he's supposed to do. He's basically the god of doing that. He's the keystone. So it's like,
and then and he wants a break.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you kind of hate Daijin, but then by the end you love him, and it's like you realize, you sort of understand his viewpoint. It also breaks my heart whenever she tells him to go away and he turns sickly and just stops talking.
What is the point of that?
Breaks my heart.
Explain this to me. That whole, like, you don't love me thing? Like, what was that all about?
He got sad.
He's just sad? That's it?
Yeah, he got sad.
I was expecting, like, that to me. The whole time
I mean, it's also worth noting that I would assume that, we already know that he can appear different to people because of, like, he appears as a person in the little, like, club, to everyone else, but Suzume sees him as a cat. So, I mean, I would just assume that as a god, his emotions sort of affect his physical state. That's the assumption I'm under. Makes sense.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Daijin, I adore. I love Daijin. My favorite character, though, in this movie is Suzume's aunt, Tamaki.
Get out of here.
Absolutely. I think she's the most human character.
Oh.
Hands fucking down. Hands fucking down.
I get why you're going to say it, because of her whole thing where, like, the whole, what's the black cat's name? His whole thing, the possession.
Yeah, but he was just making her, he was just making her say, like these emotions of like, hey, even if you do love someone, there's always going to be something you're going to hate, something you can't stand, and the cat just happened to bring it out, right? But something, even if you don't mean it. And I'm like, and she's supposed to be this character that you see as uptight and like and there's so much, and then just all of this comes out, and then from there you see her just trying to make it right with trying to help Suzume, and I love her for that. I think she's an incredibly human and realistic character.
Yeah, I guess I'll give you that. I felt like right off the gate I was trying to compare her to someone like a Natsumi or the Taki's girl companion. Like, I was just like, oh, she's gonna be like the secondary girl companion. But then honestly, Suzume has so many little companions that I was like in Rumi, and I was like in the first girl with the moped, and like
Chica.
Like they're all so much better than her freaking aunt.
No, man, I love her aunt. I think she's great. She's one of my favorite characters, hands down.
Well, my favorite character is hands down Sota.
Yeah, what I want to know is, how is that motherfucker more agile as a chair than as a person? Holy shit, can he move fast with 3 legs as a chair?
Yeah, and it's so fun to watch.
My favorite part, by the way, my favorite scene, though, in this entire fucking movie is the absolute piss missile this guy launches when he slams into the cat on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, he launches himself, and you see it, like, first person as he just slams into Daijin, and it's like, dude, holy shit, how'd you manage that? He's so agile with this. It's ridiculous.
It was so good.
I mean, he was a chair his whole life.
Well, the way I saw that was like, it was more than just, fuck it, I'm a chair. I feel like he was still, like, especially when we see him in the, that part where he's like freezing up, and he's just like sitting in the chair, Like, I saw it as he
Oh
just
yeah.
became one with the
You mean where like he's on the Death Stranding beach?
Exactly.
I have a note here. He's on the Death Stranding beach.
I saw in the video essay they said that that's like, it's kind of a callback to which one? What's the centimeters movie?
5 centimeters per second.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that myself. It's been on my list even before Your Name came out.
I guess it's kind of similar to. Oh no, was it not that? Damn, I forget which one. One of Shinkai's other works, it has a thing like that. So
okay. His other big ones are like Garden of Words and 5 centimeters per second.
Yeah, some people mentioning that Lost Persons one.
Oh, okay.
Something about, I don't know, but yeah. I loved him. I thought they were good. The whole time I'm like, why the fuck am I shipping this girl in this chair? like I just wanted them to like have a happy ever after together. Her in this chair, but and that kind of leads me to my other thing, which is I think I freaking like Suzume as the best character of any of these Shinkai movies.
No, I think so too. I think she's the best protagonist. Absolutely.
Like, she's awesome.
I love Suzume.
Go back to the voice actor thing. Did you see Superstore at all? It was that
like the sitcom where they were in a Walmart?
Yeah, the Walmart.
I've seen like brief scenes of it because my college roommate used to watch it sometimes.
It's super funny and good, but there's, I believe her name's Cheyenne. She's like ditzy one, and she's the voice of Suzume in the dub, and she was just like perfect for
Nicole Sakura.
Yes.
I was looking at her. She's also she's Haru in Star Wars Visions, which is awesome. The girl who's supposed to be like sacrificed. She's also in Until Dawn as Emily.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta play that.
There were less sponsorships in this one as well. I mean, there was a brief Toyota one. There's Spotify you briefly see, and of course McDonald's. McDonald's is clearly like their biggest sponsor at this point. And I don't know. I actually really like the brief McDonald's scenes in this movie. It feels like a nice little break. It feels like you're taking a break with the characters.
I was actually gonna say it goes hand in hand with your rant last time, where it doesn't feel like an ad.
Yeah, and that's the best kind of ad, is when it's not really an ad.
Yeah, it does make it feel more realistic.
Like, yeah, and of course, I once again for the third movie in a row, obligatory. Why does food and anime look so good?
Dude, I was just gonna say that I have that note. Like, there's just this fucking food porn scene. Crazy.
Always, I love that, dude. Oh, you know what? And speaking of like the food porn of this, just in general, this movie feels like far more of an animation flex compared to the last two. Every few minutes is this really fast-paced, high-detail scene that, like, in Weathering With You, you really only hit when, like, you saw, like, those dragons in the sky, right? But every few minutes in this is something crazy.
Yeah.
They're all still beautiful, but I feel like the scenes in Suzume are a lot more intense and probably required a lot more animation work.
Yeah.
Like, a lot more scenes in this feel like a flex.
Yeah, no, I think, and like, to put it in the simplest of terms in how these movies are disaster films, you had Your Name be about the sky, the meteor, everything looked gorgeous in, like, the sky. Then you had Weathering With You was about the flood, everything with the rain looked beautiful. And then with this one, it's earthquakes, but it's like, just the way that, like, they see, like, the shaky cam in, like, the chase scenes and the actions.
It's so good.
It's so good, and the way that it blends that, like, it was the perfect blend of that CG and, I don't want to say hand-drawn, but whatever other animation that they use. Like, when she's running, and just the fucking, when she's running toward the worm, or whenever that fucking worm is coming out of a door.
It's so good. It looks amazing. I first noticed it when they first shut out the worm in her hometown, and the worm is trying to come out, but it's also like the water in the area around the door is like pulsating, and I'm like, God, this must have been crazy to animate.
Like, you had to have different teams be like, all right, you are the CGI people, and you are the rest of it, because it's just like, it's such a different format of animating. and but they blend together so well, and
it's so well done. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and then you bring in the music, like that song when she's up in the sky and we lose.
So that is my favorite song on the soundtrack. You mean like Over Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
It's called Sky Over Tokyo. It's my favorite song on the soundtrack.
So I'm gonna put that clip into the audio.
That's so good.
We're gonna hear it.
I also and just the general Suzume theme, which is like the that's just called Suzume, and that's so good. And there's like a few different versions that play in the movie, where you can hear that melody, and it's so good. It's so good.
And even that song, the Radwimps. I mean, I know it's all really Radwimps.
Yeah, it's still all Radwimps. It's Radwimps with it's with another artist. I forget who. I'll have to check.
But that credit song, that final song, so good.
Oh yeah, Tears of Suzume, I believe it's called. Okay. Also very good. Those are like my 3 favorites off the soundtrack. They're definitely the most standout ones. It's really good.
I'm curious. What were you looking at beyond the gate?
Huh? Oh. A night sky lit up by millions of stars. And a big field?
The Ever After.
Huh?
So you can actually see it?
What is that?
This world's other half, where the worm dwells. There, all time exists simultaneously.
I could see it, but I couldn't go in.
The Ever After is where our souls go to rest. It's not somewhere that the living can reach. Not a place we're supposed to go.
Something I did want to mention, is all the Twitter accounts they show are real accounts that they made generally just for like promotional of the movie. So if you go there, they only have one post, but that post is the actual image that they posted like in the movie.
Of like Daijin on the bridge and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
I randomly decided to look it up and I found Mikan's _ Daijin. So Daijin but posted one, and that was one that I found that was kind of amusing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just a neat little thing that I noticed. One thing I want to point out is when they first get over to like the countryside and there's all their destroyed buildings and stuff from where the first worm fell, there were spider lilies everywhere. Spider lilies are often planted around cemeteries, as I think it's like a way of sort of communing with the dead, and sort of honoring them. So I thought that was a neat sort of note. Sometimes it also it also just signifies death, but I don't think they were going for that in this case, since anyone who died is already dead in this movie. It was so good. One of my favorite things is when she first launches up into the sky over Tokyo, but everyone just sees her suddenly fly up.
Yeah.
Because they can't see the worm. I love that. Now, you won't get this, but this is exactly what anyone who sees a stand fight in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure sees. Because they can't see the stands, so they just see 2 guys standing there, and suddenly it's like they're getting punched.
Oh my god.
So, like, this is what it's like watching a stand fight. This is crazy. That's a very silly part that I just I love. I also, as I was watching this, I muttered to myself, bitches be like, I've got my whole life ahead of me. No you don't. The worm is coming.
Well, that made it so, like, disturbing. Like, the disaster of this film.
Just no one is aware of it at all.
No one's aware of it, and then you get to see, like, when she goes to the doors, and she sees, like, the people who were just enjoying their lives before something happened. Yep. Like, and you're just like, what we're seeing is the people in real time who would supposedly be in the future's door memories.
Yeah, like, but and it's also like, I mean, it's like real life. Like, an earthquake's gonna hit, you're not gonna fucking know.
Yeah,
it's just gonna happen.
And they're all just like, "Huh, that's a lot of birds. Oh, it's raining." And she's like, "What the fuck?"
Honestly, your best way to know if an earthquake or something's gonna happen is just watch the birds. They went crazy when the eclipse happened.
Really?
Yeah, they were all over the place. They were freaking out in Boston outside my office. When the eclipse started to happen, or like shortly before it started, they were freaking out.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's crazy. Did you see that video of the ducks seeing the asteroid?
Yeah, it's a good video. It's a good video. I like that.
It's a damn good video. Yeah, I don't know. it's just mind-blowing, this whole movie, in multiple different ways.
It's also like, I always say it's a lot more of an adventure. They go a lot of places in this movie.
Yeah, so you said it was going to be a lot like the Your Name, like, road trip part.
Yeah.
I think it kind of was. Like, it was just a lot of different, like, meeting different people, seeing how they all, like, and that's really the heart of this film, is realizing that other people lift you up and make life better. And I think that that's why, like, I welled up so much at that end when she's like, other people are going to love you, and you're going to find a way to love other people. And it was like, she's telling her past self that, who's, like, at the most hopeless she's ever been. And it's just, like, such a beautiful thing that, like, all of these memories she's had, she gets to put back into her past self and tell her that it's going to be okay. And it's just like, what the fuck are you doing to me? Because, like, I don't know.
Good.
Yeah, like, Your Name is about, like, finding, I don't know, being cool with who you are, and also finding love. And then Weathering with You is, like, such a hardcore just love story about growing up and loving someone else. And then this one is just, like, really, like, learning to love yourself and your surroundings.
Yeah,
And
they're all coming of age stories, but I think this one does it best.
Yeah, and it's such a dive into trauma by the end of it that you're just like, yeah, and that's why, like, I hate to say that the third act of it is weak, but I just think that final, when Sota goes away, I kind of got a little, like, dippy. And like I said, I didn't love the aunt, and Sarazawa was kind of fun, but it was just like, all right, what are we doing here? And when she went to the Tokyo Gate in the water, like, it was just kind of like, this is meh. But then that final fight when he wakes up and, like, she's in the ever after, and it's just like that picked it right back up again. And then being able to see herself, and so it was this very small amount of time where I wasn't having the most fun. But I feel like all of them have a little bit of a dip to them. So
yeah.
I give it a pass.
Yeah, I see. I remember you said that, like, the last act was the slowest for you, and for me, it's kind of the second one, sort of in the middle, where they've already gone to a couple different doors, and they're still going to doors, and that's when it kind of slows down for me.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, when you went to the the carnival part.
The carnival part is like definitely pretty slow, even if it does have my favorite scene of the absolute piss missile of the chair launch.
Yes,
But yeah, it's kind of about there. I'm like, can we do a little more with this? But then thankfully, it's like I start to get to slow down a bit shortly before that. And I'm like, all right, can we kind of keep it going? And then they finally get to Tokyo after, though, so then it kind of picks back up.
Yeah.
And I'll say, though, once you hit, though, that ending sequence where they dive back into, like, the other world to take out the two worms, and they go in with the two cats. Oh my god, that is so fucking cool. How, like, Sadaijin turns into, like, the fucking giant, the, like, giant version of the cat, and they're fighting the worm. It's so cool.
He's a big freaking, like,
that whole sequence is, like, incredible.
Yeah.
And that again is just more of, like, I really feel like they were flexing their animation muscles with this movie.
Oh yeah, and that's because, like, even there, the cat stays that, I'm gonna say hand drawn animation, and then the worm is also
the cat is 2D, and I think the worm there is 3D, but, like, you don't even fucking notice.
Yeah, they're just, like, fighting each other, and
I think the only time I ever really noticed the 3D kind of standing out was in the sky over Tokyo as it started to get really big and expand, because, like, the bright background of the city of Tokyo with the dark 3D animation, like, didn't blend super well, and that was the only time, and even then it wasn't bad.
Because the music fixed it.
Music in Sky over Tokyo is so good, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, what a song.
There's so many little moments of this movie that I think you can pick out that just are just incredible, and that's why, like, the more I've thought about Suzume, the more I think it's my favorite, because there's so many individual scenes that I can pick out and just analyze to high hell, and that I just absolutely adore. One of my favorite bits that I actually made a joke about though was when she finds her childhood book at her old home
Yeah.
and she flips through and finds the picture. But I had to note that that book is redacted like an SCP article.
Yeah.
But I love that when she gets to her old home, she finds the book. It's just, I don't know, like there's so many little parts of this movie that I just adore.
A fun note about that book that I read online is that it says Agartha on it. And
No
it's
fucking way.
yeah. And I guess that's a reference to a different one of his movies. But I was like, Agartha.
No fucking way, dude. Dude, it's so does. Oh no. Hold on. Does Makoto Shinkai just have a movie called Agartha? I'd kind of lose my fucking mind if he had a movie called Agartha.
I think
He
it
doesn't,
was.
but there's one called Otherworld, so it's probably that.
Oh. Oh. I wonder who's gonna show up in that one.
Oh, who knows? Makoto Shinkai Otherworld. That's from '98, dude. That one's older.
Yeah, because he's made like.
Oh, it's a cinematic short.
Okay. He's
It's
made like
interesting.
things or something. Like he's made a ton of stuff.
I mean, on Wikipedia, it's like he did a bunch. Like he did some short films in the late '90s to early 2000s, and then he started doing like The Place Promised in Our Early Days, which I've heard of, which is supposed to be pretty good. It's like the Makoto Shinkai we really kind of know started in 2004 with that, and then it was 5 centimeters per second in '07, and then Children Who Lost Voices in 2011, Someone's Gaze in 2013, which is another short film. And then it's Garden of Words, and then the Disaster Trilogy.
Okay.
But really, kind of 2004 is kind of, I think, where the Makoto Shinkai that everyone is sort of used to sort of started. But like even then, if you look at some of his old stuff, it's still very much like, yo, he made a mecha. Oh, I'm gonna have to Voices of a Distant Star. I'm gonna have to watch this.
Damn.
Oh yeah. I do take away points in Suzume for not having any mecha. So.
Right. True. And I will say, it didn't really have any of that, like, it didn't have an actual, like, Shinto spirit gate.
Yes. Yeah, correct. Well, because I mean, the doors were supposed to just be them.
Yeah. There's, like, and I did also learn this. I'm glad I did some kind of research on this. That I guess, he took inspiration from a Japanese, I forget what the word was, but it's the act of like blessing a building before its foundation is made.
Oh yes, I've heard of that. Yeah, they have like a Shinto priest come over and like bless new buildings.
Yeah, so he took that inspiration and was like, okay, the closers are kind of like that, and I mean, like you had said, it's very heavy God inspired. It just does it all in such a cool way that like pays like tribute to this deep Japanese tradition while also making a fucking sick action movie. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
The ever after is beautiful, but it's the realm of the dead. That much at least should frighten you.
Maybe, but it doesn't. If one lives or dies, it's all a matter of luck. I've always felt that way. But a world without Sota terrifies me.
Did I lose you?
No, sorry, I'm reading about the mecha he did.
What goes on in said mecha?
Some good stuff apparently. It's called The Voices of a Distant Star. It was received pretty well. I'm gonna have to watch this. I might watch this tomorrow. Suzume.
Suzume, yeah.
I started thinking about mecha. Now I can't think about anything else. Voices of a Different Star. How long is this? Oh, it's a half hour.
Oh, nice. Well, that's hold on, I'm trying to look at my notes, see if there was anything else I wanted to say on here. I kind of stopped taking notes because I was like, I want to just watch this, but also everything, like you had said, there's so many little memorable bits to it that I kind of touched on everything while, like, just from memory because there's so many cool little things.
Yeah, and again, I think with this movie more than any of the others, like, you can pick out just these little small things in like every part of the movie to go in depth on. Like I feel like, and again, that's why like it took time for me to just sit down and think about this over the course of like several months.
Yeah.
Suzume like really is probably my favorite of the three, but again, I did not feel that way right after watching it. Like, not even close.
Yeah, and honestly, you haven't said that while recording these whole things. Like you were pretty sticking to your guns about Weathering with You, but now
now that I've rewatched it again after sitting, but I've mentioned a few times that Suzume might be my favorite. I don't know. And then I rewatched Weathering with You. Was like, yeah, that was amazing. And then now that I watched Suzume again, I'm like, yeah, I think it's Suzume. Yeah, I think it's Suzume.
When did you watch
Kamen Rider in the next one?
They should. What day did you watch Suzume?
A few hours ago.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, no, I watched all of these pretty much right before we start.
Damn. Well, I have another proposition, but before we get to there, oh shit, I gotta change lanes. Fast lanes, switching lanes. Before we do that, let's go down our trilogy and just kind of rank them. Let's see if we can agree on a ranking here.
Like as far as like our favorite ones go?
No, like, well,
like
I mean,
what we
yes,
think are like objectively the best.
0 to 10. 0 to 10. What do you give Your Name?
Your Name's a 10 out of 10.
Okay,
Your Name's fucking perfect.
I didn't know if that was crazy to say, but I really do think it's.
No, your name is. I literally can't find a flaw in Your Name.
I want to go watch it again. Like, you know, what's so weird is like watching these has made me realize like it's okay to just want to watch an anime sometimes. Like, I never in my mind have thought.
Bro, I figured this out 10 years ago.
I know.
Oh, damn, I could just watch Gurren Lagann? That's crazy.
It's like a whole other world of things, but like I don't know. I really fucking love Your Name. I want to buy it. I want to own it. I want to watch it again.
It's amazing.
It's just you could watch it again and again, and really, I want to like show it to people because it's one of those things that you want to like share and then just kind of be like, "What do you think?" Like,
it's so good.
So, Your Name, 10 out of 10. Then we come to, I wanted to say the black sheep. Then we come to, what do we give Weathering with You at the end?
10 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't find a thing bad with that either?
No.
Masterpiece. Perfection.
Yes.
Wow.
Flawless. Fucking flawless.
Really? Okay, so, oh my god.
I literally can't think of a single thing I dislike about Weathering with You.
I would give Weathering a 9.
I think that's what Kyle gave it.
There's just something that it doesn't have that exact same spark as Your Name does. But I can understand that it is near perfect. But then I guess I'll ask you about Suzume.
10 out of 10.
Oh my god, I knew you were gonna fucking do this.
Makoto Shinkai's the GOAT. He never misses. He never misses. Never fucking misses. Actually, no, sorry. Take these all back to 9 out of 10. They don't have mecha.
True.
Bring a single mobile suit in there. There's not a single armored soldier Votoms. There isn't a single fucking code Gios, whatever the fuck they're called in that. Not a single mecha in these. Why do I bother watching?
His mecha movie is a 10 out of 10. You haven't even watched it yet. You know.
That's true. I already know it's a 10 out of 10. Makoto Shinkai would never fail me.
Well, I mean, I'll say that Suzume is probably another 9. But my question then yeah, fucking rank it. What is you have to put favorites.
Okay, favorite. My favorite definitely. My favorite is gonna be Suzume.
Okay.
Suzume, Weathering with You, Your Name. But now, if I had to pick one of those to be an 11 out of 10, it would be Your Name, though.
Okay.
But I personally like Weathering with You and Your Name. Weathering with You and Suzume more than Your Name. Even though I think Your Name is more of an objectively better movie.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's like Your Name is up there on the pedestal. It's the one that you would be like, watch this.
I love Weathering with You because I'm a fucking bleeding heart, hopeless romantic sap. And I love Suzume because it's like such an adventure.
I would argue that the other 2 are gut punches because I was like, oh yeah, they're all a good time. But the first 2 can be rough emotionally, but still a good time. It's a good
especially the ending of Your Name where you end up screaming, "Turn the fuck around!"
And they do, and it's not tragic. Like, none of these are tragic in the end.
No, they're not tragic at all.
For a protagonist,
a lot of people, they have their tragic backstories.
Yeah.
But the movies themselves are not tragic, and it's I feel like a minor theme in a lot of these is that no one is ever broken, just bent.
That's good. That's a great way to put it. Because they find out that they're not broken in the end. I'd even say that Suzume's ending is like perfect. Like just.
I love it. I love. I actually don't like that there's a little bit of an epilogue. I love she puts the key in the door, she turns it, and I think that's where it actually should have ended. It has a little bit of an epilogue that's sort of a part of the credits, but I almost kind of wish it didn't have that. I guess.
Me too.
It's still fine, but I love that just the way she turns the key, and it's done. The past is the past. Leave it there and move on. I love it.
It's really
but
good.
it is still nice to see the rest of them sort of, move on. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I will sit on Suzume for a bit.
And then really have a solid answer. But I think Your Name is probably still my favorite because of the feeling it gave me that first watch. But in time,
I think Suzume could become possibly a favorite, to be honest. With Weathering.
Yeah, I think I'm curious. I'm curious what you'll think in like a few months' time. Like sit on it for a while and like let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a transcendental experience to think on this film. Because sometimes films really fucking stay with me. This one has for the day that I have not watched it. The day
I do find myself thinking about Suzume more than I do the others.
Yeah. Which might be a thing, like, because it's fresher and newer, but it also could just be because it's better. Or it just had more of an impact on you. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my final question for you is, do we want to do one more where we watch the one that you were mentioning?
Oh, Garden of Words?
Yeah.
It isn't really a part of the Disaster Trilogy. I'd probably say we don't really need to for this.
All right.
Also, maybe because I want to make you watch the Gundam movies next.
How are we gonna...
What do you mean? They're all on Netflix.
But how do I make a series of these things out of Gundam films?
What do you mean?
How do I connect to the Gundam movies?
I don't follow.
Set them up for me in terms of like chronological.
It's fucking Gundam Part 1. It's just of the original series.
Okay, how many?
There are 3 compilation movies that span the original series. It's 3 2-hour movies. Gundam 1, 2, and 3.
Gundam 1, 2, and 3. They're just called that?
So, it's Gundam. It's like Gundam, and then hold on. There's just Mobile Suit Gundam 1, and then there's Mobile Suit Gundam 2, Soldiers of Sorrow, Mobile Suit Gundam 3, Encounters in Space.
Okay.
Because you see, if you watch those, you've already seen Charged Counterattack. You haven't seen Zeta and Double Zeta. There aren't any movies for Double Zeta. There are the new translations for Zeta, which are fine. And then there's Most of Gundam Hathaway, which I really want us to watch.
Okay. Is that Hathaway's Flash?
Yeah, so it's part 1 of 3. There are 3 books in the Hathaway series.
Oh my god.
So Hathaway's Flash is like the whole series. But yeah, I want us to go through like the sort of UC timeline, which is Universal Century. Excuse me. So I want us to go through Mobile Suit Gundam 1, 2, 3. We can watch Charge Counterattack together again. And we can do a big one on that. And then we can do Hathaway.
Okay.
And like honestly, I kind of say we take some time and do 1, 2, and 3 in one recording.
Okay.
Because you can kind of go through that like well enough, honestly. Like we'll hit the big points. I think will be the way to go about it.
Damn. So that's 6 hours of watching movies?
Yeah.
And then do 1 hour on it to do it.
Listen here, man. I sat down over the course of a week, and I went through all like 52 episodes of original Gundam. Over the course of a week, I watched the whole thing.
So that's the thing you can't get me to do is watch fucking that much of a series. That would.
Well, that's what happens when it's peak, man. You watch something so good, and it's like, damn, I'm gonna keep watching this.
My God. I can definitely watch the movies, but the shows. But if I watch the movie, I don't have to watch the show.
See, like you'd say that until you watch Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta. Zeta's fucking crazy.
Well, then yeah, I don't mind doing that. That'll allow me to take a bit of time off from doing this for a bit, because it's been hellish having to edit this and
yeah, I kind of figured you'd probably want some time to do some editing, so.
But it's been a blast. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I love doing this.
I'll have you a full-blown weeb by the end of the year.
What?
I'll have you a full-blown weeb by the end of the year.
Oh God.
You will watch Mob Psycho 100. You'd love Mob Psycho 100.
I'd love it.
Everyone loves Mob Psycho 100. I've never met someone, even someone who had as their first ever anime, who did not absolutely adore it.
Is it a show?
Yeah, it's a show. It's by the guy who made One Punch Man.
Oh, yeah.
But it completely blows One Punch Man out of the water. One Punch Man's a joke compared to Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho's so much better. It also actually, like, ended. Like, it has a definitive end.
Huh. How many seasons?
3. It's like 3 12-episode seasons.
Well, that's not bad. I could do that.
Yeah, it's shit, man. You might end up watching that in a sitting.
Oh my God.
It also has a movie that follows Reagan. So yeah, it has season 1 is 12, season 2 is 14, season 3 is 12.
Well, I would give that a shot, definitely.
Yeah, I think you'd like Mob Psycho. That's because everyone likes Mob Psycho.
It's like there's like different powered people, right, or something?
Yeah, so they're all like psychics, and the main character Mob is just the most powerful psychic. Like it's like One Punch Man. He's completely unstoppable. He is the strongest person, hands down.
Okay.
But it's like he can't really control his emotions very much, and what happens is he keeps everything bottled up, and then when it comes out is when he hits 100%, and he just like goes berserk, and depending on the emotion, it's something different. Like he could just full blown like warp reality and stuff at some points. Like it's crazy. It's a really enjoyable and wholesome series.
Huh. Random question: how the hell does One Punch Man even work if he's always killing people with one punch?
Well, everyone else tries to fight first, and then they lose. You're not actually there for One Punch Man, you're there for everyone else. Everyone else's fights are fucking awesome, and then what happens is there's always one huge bad guy who shows up, and you finally think this time he's not going to survive the punch, or this time he's going to survive the punch, and then he doesn't, and that's the joke. But the recent arc, though, the Monster Organization arc, was crazy, and resulted in what's probably my single favorite fight in all of fiction. It's completely batshit insane. This guy Garo basically attains ultimate power and is able to actually stand toe-to-toe against One Punch Man. But One Punch Man just is since finally capable of fighting someone who can stand toe to toe with him, just starts ascending to even like higher planes of strength and just gets stronger and stronger. They literally so that their power doesn't destroy the Earth, they're sent away to I think it's Titan, Saturn's moon, and literally he goes table flip and he fucking punches the moon and it fucking like ripples and the whole moon explodes into like a billions of pieces, and then he bounces back and forth across the pieces, and each time he crosses Garo, he's just fucking decking him. It is the coolest shit I have ever seen in my life.
So I'm guessing you like One Punch Man.
Yes. No, I really like One Punch Man. It's just that, like, Mob Psycho 100 is, like, objectively better.
Okay, it's like the Your Name thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Here, I'm gonna also just DM you some of the things from that fight, because it really is fucking crazy. It's like, we finally get to see what happens when he fucking punches the Earth, and it's like, it just fucking explodes. Okay.
Oh, this is all just... I thought this was in the anime. This is all in the manga.
No, this isn't even animated. They're not... The show's only gotten 2 seasons. It's not even fucking close to this yet. There's also one part where, like, Garo makes portals so that he can come out and, like, dodge him and attack him from different angles. But then One Punch Man is just moving so fast that he can't close them in time, and he's just following him through the portals. There's also one point where he tries to put a portal beneath him and send him away, and he literally just kicks the portal away. Like, he literally starts to learn and is able to do everything Garo can. Because, you are now able to stand toe-to-toe with the guy who is the fastest evolving, like, person ever.
Jeez.
And it's like, well, now you're just fucked, because all you're doing is teaching him. He does all of this with one hand.
Jeez.
It's literally my favorite fight ever. It is pure rule of cool. And then, at the end of it all, Garo's like, I can't fucking win. I'm going to die. Here's how you time travel. Go back and stop me from doing this. It's fucking amazing.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, and this last image, this is him, like, bouncing back and forth across the parts of, like, the destroyed moon. Like, just hitting him. It's so cool, man. Dude. And now this fight is the best in the series, but typically, you don't really care about the One Punch Man fights. This is, like, an exception. You care about everyone else's fights. Because everyone else, like, doesn't kill someone in one hit. They have all the cool fights.
Right,
this being the exception. Because he's a joke character. That's all it is. Like, he's a joke character.
Okay. So it's not really...
Like, there's a fighting game, right? They made a fighting game. But the fighting game is that you fight and try to survive as, like, all the other characters. And then once you survive for long enough, One Punch Man shows up and kills them in a single hit. And that's the joke.
Jesus.
Honestly, the series, I think, is kind of winding down. It seems like they're finally actually starting to maybe get towards the end, but they're taking a little bit, honestly. I feel like it's gone on for a little longer than it needs to. But that fight is, like, fucking incredible. And I thought that was going to be the climax. I thought from there they were going to start going into the end of the series, but they really haven't. Wow. But, like, literally that was the first time we saw anyone go toe-to-toe with him.
Jeez.
So, like, you'd think that'd be towards the end. Also, God is in the moon. He hates humanity.
What the fuck?
Believe it or not, that's a plot point in Nier.
Jeez. Now I can really look at these because I parked. This is insane. Wow. I like that. Like, the illustrations are really good.
Oh, yeah. So, the original artist and creator, One, didn't really have any formal art training or anything. He just wanted to make a story, but the story was so interesting and funny that it was picked up, and they gave him, like, a proper artist under Murata, who now draws it. Murata also has this awesome Spider-Man art I'll find. Mob Psycho, however, does not, like... Mob Psycho 100 actually uses his, like, untrained art style. which I really, really like.
And
like it fits the silliness of Mob Psycho 100 very well. That Spider-Man and Iron Man thing, that's by the artist who does One Punch Man.
I like that. That's really good.
And then you see this is however, like Mob Psycho 100, which is a lot sillier and actually follows his like actual art a lot more. Because like again, he draws them pretty simple. Like here's an actual page from the Mob Psycho manga, given this is a lot better from like when he originally started.
Oh wow. But
it's like that's his art and that's how it's printed. He does all the art for that. Compared to One Punch Man where they gave him Murata. I think it fits Mob Psycho 100 very, very well, and I really like it.
Looks like a web comic.
Yeah, that's how all this stuff started.
Huh. Well, I will.
Want to do your little outro thing, by the way?
What do you mean?
Because we're still recording.
Oh yeah, this is a tangent. This is how it goes, bro.
Oh, okay. I thought since you were parked, you were like, well, that's it.
Well, I wasn't gonna cut it off, but I mean, I will. I can end it.
No.
How long have we gone?
Oh, fucking no.
Where's the? I gotta look at the thing. I can.
Yeah, we've gone for an hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock.
9:48. It was. You started recording at 9:48. It's only been
at 9:48. Okay, well, I mean,
only been an hour.
11 o'clock.
I have been surprised that we've been keeping these to about an hour. It's pretty, like for us, that's very strange that we've been able to do that. But I'm proud of us because it shows that we have time restraints. And even with tangents, we understand that time is precious.
I think the time restraint is mainly that I get tired and want to go to bed.
We do these on school nights, and you get up early so you can make the 3 a.m. train into Boston.
True, although I'm not taking that tomorrow because I'm here. I'm going to go on Thursday instead.
Oh, man. Well, I appreciate you giving me your time and attention this evening. All right.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, whatever.
Sweet Dr. Pepper. And I thank you all for listening to this wonderful thing. I gotta get the RSS feeds going for this because currently it's only on Spotify and we have like no numbers. But I put it on the YouTube channel and people are listening to it. So to those of you listening to this on YouTube, I appreciate you, and I will start linking the Spotify channel, which I hope that you'll go and follow, and put it into the description. And then hopefully this will also be findable on Apple and Anchor and Outlast and Oxenfree and all those fucking podcast services. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. This has been After Disaster, the Shinkai trilogy. Makoto Shinkai, you are one crazy motherfucker. And much like the MonsterVerse films, we'll come back to this when he decides to make another thing. And we'll have to review that. You know what? Fuck it. If he, in 2 years, when he makes another one, bring me to the fucking movie theater.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see that shit day one. I want to get a sweet poster or whatever. No, but it does make me wonder what he'll do next. If he's going to stick with like a disaster type of vibe.
Fortnite movie.
Fortnite movie.
Yeah, Fortnite movie. He's got Jonesy in it.
I want to see him do like a volcano film. Like the way that he did the fire in the Ever After, maybe be
was there a volcano that exploded in Japan to inspire this?
Well,
look, if anything, the next one's going to be about radiation.
Ooh, that could be cool.
Radiation or bombs, like that would be the next one. He's going to make Grave of the Fireflies 2. Harder, better, faster, nuker.
What was that? The Fireflies?
Grave of the Fireflies?
Yeah.
Grave of the Fireflies is about a boy
and
his sister trying to survive the fire bombings of Japan.
Yeah, that was rough.
I actually haven't seen it.
That was a rough one.
It's been on my list for ages. I've heard it's like one of the best animated films ever made.
Yeah,
and I
it was
still just
very
haven't gotten around to it.
He should do a Godzilla movie. That
Makoto
would be,
Shinkai?
yeah.
He should do Gundam.
Mount Fuji last erupted in 1707. And
Okay, so that was like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and they mentioned it in this one, so I think that he should do something with that. But that's just me. That's just me talking. I'm no Hollywood producer. I don't got the big bucks. I ain't no Harvey Weinstein.
I hope not.
Oh, speaking of Agartha. But anyway, that's that. I'm sleepy. We're sleepy. We're gonna leave.
Harvey Weinstein's in fucking Agartha?
Yeah, isn't he there?
I guess he's probably there with Epstein or something.
He died, right?
Epstein? Yeah, I think so.
No, no, Harvey Weinstein?
Harvey Weinstein? I think he's alive still. Hold on. Harvey Weinstein. I hope he's dead. That'd be nice. Yeah, motherfucker's still kicking.
God damn it.
Yeah, he's 72.
God. I love those pictures of him, like, going to court with, like, a little walker and a mask on. Like,
Yeah, he tried to look like older and more sickly for like the court dates. I like that it has his convictions here all like right on his wiki page. They gave him a really bad photo. That's awesome.
Oh, man. What a douchebag. But that was then, and this is now. And now we are leaving you to have a wonderful night. Please, like I said, please follow, rate the podcast. Go check out the other VGU podcasts. IBC is going strong there. Please go follow us at Twitter. Why? Because that's the only place we are, active in.
And why are we active on Twitter? It's because we hate ourselves and we like to use platforms that constantly shoot themselves in the feet.
Yeah, even though they suck, it's pretty. It's just the easiest to use. So go follow us there. It's all in the description. Thank you so much, and we will see you in the next one. Good night.
Take care.
Take care. I'll see you.
I'll see you.
Life is a fleeting, fragile thing. We traverse it with death ever by our side. But we still fight. With everything we have, we fight and we hope to live just one moment more. And so, divine gods, please, I beg of you, allow us this chance!
I'll see you.